you something, a thought or a question comes up. So this is a really advanced placement, but we also have electives and career titles that work, look, work, feel, act, operate exactly the same. So I kind of throw those on here too, just in case you're interested in any of those titles that are outside of advanced placement or any of those career titles. So here's that long list, right? So it is a ton of AP. Science is up here. We just added 2 new math titles, high school statistics and a high school pre-calculus. These are the high school social studies titles down here. The main one that y'all are usually interested in is the econ. We have the #1 econ, AP econ in the country. And then, of course, all these career titles over on the side, mainly business and math and marketing and accounting and all of that good stuff. We are adding an intro to accounting and an intro to healthcare careers. So I think those could be really cool. I'm the National AP Honors and Elective Specialist here in the US. I work with teachers every day from coast to coast. I hear questions, I hear positive, I hear negative, I hear all the things. And I get to be the voice of the teacher. So if a teacher tells me something, I get to go back to our product teams and say, this is what teachers are saying. And so I love getting feedback, good, bad, ugly, otherwise, because it helps make our product better for future kids and future teachers. So these are the reminders that I make for you. Let's see, treat yourself with kindness and care. This is a very busy time of year. And so you just breathe, it's going to be okay. I often tell teachers, if you get your shoes on in the morning and you brush your hair, then you're having a really great day, right? You got to celebrate that. Next, I always talk about giving yourself and your kids some digital grace. Here at the beginning of the year, when you're learning these digital tools and they don't work exactly the way you think they're supposed to, that's okay. We figure it out and we fix and we change and we evolve and we become better. But please don't give up, right? Because I think some of the digital tools are so powerful that I don't want you to have it kind of glitch the first time because it doesn't work the way your brain thought it was going to work, and then you give up on it. And then last, this is your training, not my training. So please dig in, ask questions, chat. I stopped several times. So Sharice, I'll tell you, but I'll stop after each section and look to you and look to the chat to make sure that we have answered all the teachers' questions. So this is kind of the agenda. First of all, I'm going to do a big overview, a big 30,000 foot flyover. I'm going to do the left gray menu bar and then the right side of the main menu. And then I'll stop for questions. Then section 2, I'm going to go into the ebook. The ebook by itself, how to highlight, how to underline, how to annotate, speaker functionality, Google Translate, all of those good things. And then I'll stop for questions. Next, I'll do a single chapter deep dive because all chapters of all of our AP titles look, work, act, feel, function, operate exactly the same. So once you understand the operation of one chapter, you understand the operation of all chapters. And then I'll stop for questions, certainly. Next is SmartBook. SmartBook is a big deal. It is a big deal. I cannot say that loudly enough. I cannot say that boldly enough. You should understand what it is, and you should understand how to assign it. It is a game changer. It's a score changer. It's an academic vocabulary changer. It's a retention of information changer. It's a grade changer. It is a big deal. And then we'll stop for questions. And then finally, I'll show you how to create a test, either print or digital, and print it out, and then we'll stop for questions. So without further ado, I think we should just jump in. I'm going to do that dashboard overview, left gray menu bar, right side of the screen as well. So let me get over to the demo site. So I'm just going to use our national science demo for now to go into you'll notice that our core science is at the top, right? But I'm going to go into AP Chem and AP Bio as kind of my focuses today. But keep in mind, AP Econ, AP World, AP, all of our AP titles look, work, act, feel, and function the same. So I'm going to click into the book by clicking the book cover, and this is your class dashboard. Give it a second. Okay, so this is your class dashboard. This is kind of your home base of where you, if you're ever lost or confused or don't know where you're supposed to be, you can come back to this dashboard. So I'm going to walk down the left gray menu bar here, and then I'll stop for questions. Okay, so left gray menu bar, then I'll stop for questions. So the left gray menu bar, the way I describe it is sort of classroom management pieces. And you guys get it. You've taught before, you know what some of these things are. I'm just going to give you a little clarity on what they mean and how they operate within our systems. So that first page I was at, I actually call your backpack. It's filled with all the classes you teach from McGraw Hill. So here is your backpack. When you go into your course, you can go to your backpack by either clicking the red logo or the word My Programs. Both of these buttons will go back out to your backpack. And you may have a first period, a second period, a third period, first section, second section, third section, however you operate. So those two buttons will get you back out to your backpack. The next button down is Dashboard. And guess what? That gets you back to this page right here. So it's like a home button. If you're confused or lost or don't know where you're supposed to be, you can just click Dashboard and it'll pull you back to this place. Now, the next buttons, I'm going to talk about two buttons together, Course and Go to Course. Course and Go to Course. They are a home button for the current chapter that you're teaching. So I'm going to go very quickly. Don't watch. I'm going to just go into chapter 2 very quickly. And let's say I'm teaching chapter 2, student assignments, PowerPoints, test banks, some videos, some animations, some labs. Great. Now I go back here to dashboard. Do you see what that go to course button does? It leaves that chapter 2 as the chapter I'm currently teaching. So if you're living in a chapter for multiple days, instead of digging and digging and digging and having to go through multiple menus, you can just click Go to Course and it goes right back to the chapter that you're working in right now. Next button down is Gradebook. Teachers, when I talk about Gradebook, you're just going to want to set this up right from the beginning. You want to set up daily, test, quiz, lab, project, presentations, like however you operate your class. So the only thing I show you on this screen is this gear icon. So you're going to want to click this gear icon and play with or adjust your grading options and your display options, because your kids have a grade book too. So they're going to be able to see their grades. And do you want it as whole letters? Do you want it as percentages? Do you want it as decimal points? Like, how do you want it? So I'm going to just show you very quickly. I click the gear icon, and this we could do as labs. Okay. And that's going to be 10%. And then I have to make this 90%. And now let's add a category. I'm going to do reading. There's going to be a reading grade, and that's going to be 10%. Guess I should change this to 80%. And then I'm going to go to the bottom of the page and I'm going to click Save. And now that has saved my options. And now when I go to assign a test, a quiz, a reading, a lab, or whatever, I get to put it into that category. So again, the only thing you really need to know on this page is the little gear here, and really kind of adjust your display options and your grading options. And guess what, teachers? Digital grace. You do it at the beginning. It doesn't work the way you like it. You change it. It's okay. Next, I'm going to talk about these two buttons together, Gradebook, a calendar, and assignment. Calendar and assignment. So calendar is a cool button. It's a way to look at your assignments in a very visual way. This is a day, a week, a month view of everything you've assigned to the kids. And you can go look at these things. Look, I'm going to click there, and now I can edit them over here. Pretty great. Okay, I like that view, but I actually would argue that the next view, the assignment tab, is a little better. It's all the same information that was on the calendar, but now watch this. I can sort it by the name. If I click on the name, I can sort it by the gradebook category. I can sort it by the start date. I can sort it by the end date. And then here's the best button ever, shish kebab. Shish kebab. These three little dots, and I'll zoom in a little bit. This is our shish kebab menu. You click it, and it opens up a series of menus of items that you can do that are like extra, right? So you can view the scores, you can copy it to your other class periods, you can share it with Google Classroom, or you can delete it. So if you see a shish kebab, you should click it. Look at copy to classes, view scores, share with Google. You can delete it. Okay, so that shish kebab menu is important. So I would argue that yes, the calendar is pretty cool. You can see things in a day, week, and a month view. I get it. That's pretty visual and awesome. But I would argue that the assignments tab is a little better because you have some power over things. You can do a lot of sorting, and then of course that shish kebab menu. Next is roster. That's where you're going to load your students. You'll load your students here. You can manage groups, so you can create a diamond group, a platinum group, a ruby group, a gold group, and then you can hand out different assignments to different groups of kids at different times. Okay, again, there's a shish kebab menu secret. And look at this, you can edit a student or you can emulate a student. If you emulate a student, that means you're going into the student's account as that student. So now you can go see what a student sees in their account. What I love to show teachers is, do you see how this looks just like your account? This looks just like a teacher account, but junior, right? Just a little lighter, just a little easier. It has a course, it has a grade book, it has dash calendar, it has assignments. Look, the kids can see all their assignments in a row. Boom, what do I need to start? What have I not started? When's it due? All that good stuff. So exit emulation mode. Next is reports. This is how kids have interacted digitally with any of their assignments. And I'll show you how to dig into those. Next is assessments. This is where we're going to create tests together later, step 5, I believe. And then my tools. You're never going to use my tools, ever, ever, ever. Okay, this is like linking a third-party app to our system, and I've been here almost 8 years, and we have not done that yet. Okay, so here I am on a weird menu. I don't know what I'm supposed to do, and I'm going to click dashboard, and now I'm back at my home base. Any thoughts or questions, Sharish, from the chat that I missed or I could answer for people?
Nothing yet. I think some people have just joined us, actually. I see the attendee number has increased, but so far, no questions. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the chat box or the Q&A box, and I can address it when Thomas stops next.
Absolutely. So left grade menu bar is classroom management pieces. Easy peasy, easy peasy. Okay. So now we're going to talk about these colorful tiles on the right. And friends, all of our titles look, work, feel, function, operate just like this. So they have a left grade menu bar. They have these colorful tiles on the right. They just might be in a little bit of different order, but they're quite similar. So AP Chem, there's a virtual lab correlation. So there are fully virtual labs, and we have listed what chapter they work with and what lab there is. Next is how to assign virtual labs. So this is a PDF document. Step 1, click here. Step 2, click here. Step 3, click here. I will try to get to virtual labs at the very end, but if we don't, that document shows you how to do it. This is the AP Chemistry correlation. So this is the College Board's framework, the expectations from the College Board to you using our book and what page each of those expectations are on. So this is a document you can download. If you look right here, there's a down arrow. I'm going to click that. It's going to download a PDF. I'm going to click save, and it's going to open up that document right here. What I want to show you, it's going behind what I want to show you is this is such a long document. I think it's 50 some odd pages long, that we put hot links here. So unit 3, you can click here and it will jump down to unit 3. But it is you can print it out. It's a PDF, and it is where this is the College Board's expectation and where it's met in the book. Okay, so really helpful document for you. Next is these I'm going to slow down because I want all eyes on the screen for this. So teacher digital support. This is a Padlet or a website that I made to help teachers specifically. I'm going to open it up into full screen so that we can see the full thing. And I'm going to point out a couple things to you. This first column might be helpful for you if you don't integrate with our digital systems and you create your own classes and you add your own students. This whole row right here is about how to create a class, how to create students, how to add students. That's what this whole row is for. Then we're going to keep going across, and I'm going to show you how to create a SmartBook assignment, how to create a test, how to create a quiz, how to do Google Translate, how to do Google Classroom. Look at this one. This is the test and quiz one. I always point this one out, creating your own questions. So there are 18 different styles of question that you can create, 18, and they're all listed on this document. Teachers are often like, are we going to cover all 18? I'm like, no, we're not going to cover all 18 today. This document spells them out for you and shows you an example and tells you what they are. Because later when we create a test, one of the things I show you is how to create your own test question. And there are 18 different styles and they're on that document. Now I kind of buried the lead. I buried the best part, and that's this pink tile at the top left right here. So this top left tile is brand new teacher training that you are receiving right now. This is a replica of what's happening right now to you. Okay, this is creating a teacher account. This is adding classes. This is locating support inside of your account. This is dashboard navigation, left side, right side. Sound familiar? Ebook exploration, sound familiar? It's coming next. Single chapter deep dive, sound familiar? We're doing that after that. SmartBook, look at this. What is it? How to assign it, and the corresponding PDFs. And let's see, boom. Then assessments. So y'all, if we don't get into the assessments for a really deep dive, here, right here on this pink tile, creating a test, printing a test, assigning a test digitally. It's all right here with the corresponding PDF that attaches to that. So this pink tile in the top left is little 3 to 7 minute long videos of me recorded going through step by step on how to do those things. So really kind of memorize where that pink tile is. It's in the purple chain link. I call this the purple chain link teacher tile right here. And that top left tile right there is on demand, asynchronous, bite-sized teacher training on how to use these resources. Okay, and it's from my perspective. Next is the full teacher manual. I'm going to click on it. So this is the full AP Chem teacher manual. And what I would point out to you is that there's a down arrow up here in the top right. You see right here, you can download the full teacher manual. Now it's also available in print, but you can download it right here. You can save it on your computer as the AP Chemistry teacher manual. Now, let me say something. This is 224 pages long. Guess what? We give it to you in single chapter bite-sized versions where you don't have to do all this scrolling. Okay, so I will say to you, you can download the full one right here, but you really don't have to, because inside of each chapter, we're going to give it to you in little bite-sized chunks. Okay, any questions? Sounds like no. You've been stunned into silence is what I like to say. So, oh, and there's one last PDF right here, how to assign a SmartBook. So there is a step-by-step document on how to assign SmartBook. If you're more of a video person, you can go into that pink tile and watch me do it in 6 minutes, and it'll show you kind of click by click on the screen. Okay. Excellent. Oh, virtual labs. I'll make sure that I show virtual labs today, and they are fully virtual. Every pipette, every Bunsen burner, every reagent, every microscope, every slide. They're very, very fascinating. Really, really popular. Okay, so I'm going to show you the ebook. I'm going to show you highlight, underline, annotate, speaker functionality, Google Translate, all of that. Okay, so right here at the middle of your account is your ebook. We're going to click right there. I'm going to open it up to full screen. I'm going to open it up to full screen right here, and it returns to the last place you were the last time you were in the ebook. So I'm gonna back up a little bit so you can see. So let me show you some tools. So the first thing I'll show you is going forward pages and backwards pages with these blue arrows. So there's blue arrows right here. You can go forward pages, you can go backwards pages. Awesome. Thomas, I need to jump farther than just a few pages. So you're going to click the hamburger menu. So top left, there's 3 lines. We call it a hamburger menu. It slides out the entire book. And now you can, let me close chapter 5. You can go to chapter 8, boom, and it jumps immediately to chapter 8 inside the book. So forward pages, backwards pages, the blue arrows. You want to jump really far in the book, you can click the hamburger menu. It slides out the whole book and you can jump there. Now, if you want the kids to jump to a specific page, look at this. You can click on the magnifying glass. You can type the words PAGE, so page, and then that page number. It's loading the whole book right now real quick. There we go. So if I type PAGE 400 and click enter, you'll notice that it comes up with a jump to button. Right, boom, I can click 400 and it will jump immediately. Do you see that to page 400? This is probably a good moment for me to tell you this right here is a digital page number that references really nothing. So kind of ignore these numbers. That's a digital page number. And look here for the pages in the book are printed on the page right here. Forward pages, backwards pages, jump far in the book, click the hamburger. If you want to jump to a specific page number, you search behind the magnifying glass PAGE and the page number, and it will jump directly to that page referenced in the print edition. So now I want to show you some highlighting, some underlining, some annotating, speaker functionality, Google Translate, all of that good stuff. So here we go. We're going to highlight some text. It's going to open up a wizard. I call this a wizard. It's a kind of a toolbar. You can highlight, underline, put a box around, a circle around, a pin in the map, take a note, or have the text read to you. So I'm going to highlight right here in green. I'm going to highlight this right here in blue. Boom. And I'm going to take a note about this. I'm going to highlight this and click here, take a note, and you'll notice it puts some dotted lines under there. So I've done some stuff with this paragraph, but now I want to export those things so I can use them to study. So I go back up to the hamburger. So keep your eyes on the screen, the hamburger. And now I'm going to click highlights. I can download. And now I can download all my highlighting that I've done in this book. Now, this is a demo account, but here is that green that I did, and here's that blue that I did, okay, today on September 5th, okay? It does it in order of the book, okay? So as you're working through the book, it will add those notes to there. You can also download your notes. So if you click the hamburger, click the notes button, click download, it will download your notes. And this is add to my notes, note, take a note. Okay, that's the note that I just did, take a note, and it does the text that I highlighted and everything. It's a really helpful tool to help kids study. Next I'll do, I don't know how it's gonna read this. Let's see, with with science. Let me make sure I'm sharing my sound. And now we're going to click the share sound.
The BN bond in the above-mentioned compound is different from the covalent bonds discussed so far in the sense that both electrons are contributed by the N atom.
Okay, that is meant to be a kind of audio support tool for those kids who need some extra support based on perhaps special ed dispensation or compensation based on certain disabilities because of like a brain vision disconnect. So it's just a nice tool to have. And last, I will show Google Translate. You can translate this page into up to 120 languages. That's meant for kids who perhaps English is not their first language. I do love to do in a language. It's very impressive to show you a language that is not English because it does it so instantaneously. It is translating it like it is a web page. So I always say that it does not translate images. It's really translating words on the page as if it's a word page. Let me see. I'll do Arabic, right? And it does it quite instantaneously. Really powerful support piece for kids who perhaps English is not their first language. So awesome. And you see as I'm scrolling, it's trying to keep up with me, right? Because it does it pretty darn fast. So that is a nice support tool. Let's see, any questions about the ebook? Any questions about the ebook? Sharice, anyone saying anything? Okay. Here we go. I'm going to go into a single chapter by itself. Okay, and I'll actually, let me, just so you can see that I'm not a crazy person, I'm going to go into biology, AP Bio. Okay, so I'm going to go into AP Biology, and you'll see that looks the same, right? It looks exactly the same. So I'm going to go into a single chapter, and teachers, all chapters look, feel, act, function, and operate exactly the same. So what I'm showing you now works for all of our AP, our honors, our electives, our career titles. It works just like this. Okay, so I'm about to say a word, and I need you to write this word down, and that word is arrow. Click the arrow. Okay, it's very vital. It's very important. You can get lost or kind of in the dark corner of the McGraw Hill platform if you don't click the arrow. So we want to click the arrow. Let me click the arrow right here next to table of contents. And look, they just added to view available lessons, click the arrow. Every lesson contains robust resources. So we want to click the arrow right here. Okay. Table of contents. We're going to click the arrow next to AP Core. We're going to click the arrow, okay, next to the unit or the unit. And now after there are no more arrows, now you can pick a chapter. Okay, so I'm going to go do that again. So you see that whole process again. I'm going to back up. Okay, so we're going to click on table of contents, arrow. We're going to click on the arrow next to AP Core. We're going to click on the arrow next to the unit we want to explore. And we're going to click on the chapter now that we're ready to explore. Once you see no more arrows, then you can click on a chapter. Okay, so if you're lost, it's probably maybe because you didn't click on the arrow. Okay, so I'm trying to get mugs made and t-shirts and caps. I want to say click the arrow. Because I've been on training with some teachers and they're like, I'm in the wrong place. And I'm like, did you click the arrow? They're like, oh shoot, I didn't click the arrow. So let's work through this chapter together. Okay, so right at the top of the page, next to the word chapter info, there's a little arrow here, a little caret. You click that and look at what it does. It opens up a series of tabbed folders that show you how to teach this chapter. Overview, teaching the chapter, suggested assignments, benchmarks, pacing guide. Okay, and that is just kind of a little helper tool right at the top of the chapter page. Next is student resources. There's the ebook and the smart book. The ebook and the smart book. And this is where teachers, you can just click assign. It opens up what I call an assignment wizard, a full page assignment wizard. This is chapter 3. We're going to start reading today. It's going to be due on Friday. We're going to click apply to lock that in. This is not, it's ungraded, right? We're just going to put it in their accounts. It's visible to kids. We can copy it to other classes and we can assign it. So now all my kids on their gradebook, on their calendar, on their assignments, on their dashboard, everywhere, it says, hey, you have this reading assignment. Next is SmartBook. Teachers, I would not click assign next to SmartBook because we want you to create your own perfectly crafted, beautiful work of art. And that is not done from right here. I'm going to close this up. I'm going to make this smaller. Next is chapter assignments. So these orange tiles are a series of test banks or garages or buckets or storage bins for us to store your AP questions in. But again, teachers, I would not click assign right here. You're going to use the assessment tool and craft your own AP exams, okay, that are purposeful. But there's also, look at this, I love these interactive question banks. So that is drag and drop and engage with labeling, and they're very cool. I think you're going to love those. And those are meant to be done digitally and they auto grade. Next is the PowerPoint. So I'm going to show this to you, teachers. If you see a PowerPoint, you should click it. It opens in what is a viewer that replicates PowerPoint, but teachers, you just want PowerPoint, right? Teachers just want the PowerPoint, which I agree with. The reason we did it in this viewer is if you assign this to kids, not every kid has Microsoft Office Suite on their device. So we wanted them to be able to see the PowerPoint slides web-based, right? But for you, the teachers, look at this right here. Do you see what it says? Download this file. When I click that, it downloads a real, actual, true, functioning PowerPoint. And then you can save it on your desktop, and you can call this Chapter 3 PowerPoint, and it's real. So you can add slides, remove slides, hide slides, modify slides, add images to slides, whatever, but it is a real, actual, true functioning. Let me downloads. Oh, it's unconfirmed download just yet. I think it's still downloading because it's probably quite a big file. Oh yeah, look at it's doing very slowly. But it is the actual real PowerPoint. I think it may auto open here in just a second. Let's give it 3, 2, 1, download. Oh, it's so close. There we go. Yeah. So you'll see right here, this is the actual PowerPoint for AP Bio. And what's great about these is every map, every graph, every image, every chart from the book is inside this PowerPoint. So it really helps save you a lot of time. And then, of course, you can modify it to make it your own. So again, PowerPoint, you click it, it opens in a viewer. You need to click download this file, and then you can save it to your desktop. There's a series of videos with 3 to 5 questions to check for understanding. You could just quick assign those. There's project-based scenarios. There's bio now activities. Chemistry has different things, right? There's more videos, guided collaborative activities. So these are fun, y'all. This is the scenario. Then here's a pre-activity we do as a class. Then let's talk about the presentation, what we're going to do. Then they actually do the activity. And then here's the summative performance, the deliverable to me as the teacher. So this is a full tilt from beginning to end, a very active, an active piece for kids to do. There's a couple of those. And then remember, I told you we would give you the teacher manual by itself. Here it is. So this is the Chapter 3 teacher manual by itself. Instead of 200 or 300 pages long, this is just 7 pages long. You click download right here, download. You save this as the Chapter 3 teacher manual, AP Bio. But look at y'all, they're so good. It's how many classes. Here's the resources. Here's strategies and approaches. There's activities, there's discussions. You don't have to do all of them. There's projects, there's differentiated instruction, there's language strategies for kids who are struggling, there's grouping activities, there's common misconceptions. They're very, very good. I think you'll be very pleased with the teacher resources. It just helps you teach this class with true fidelity. Okay. And then last but not least, oh, here's all the answer keys to all this stuff up above, right? So these are all Word documents. Those are the answer keys. Here's all the labeled art from the book. Here's all the unlabeled art from the book. Here's different classroom activities. Let me click on these and see what these are. I think these were recently added. Yeah. Oh, and this has some teacher notes, differentiated instruction notes. So those are helpful, extra kind of AP focused or AP specific activities. And then at the very bottom of the page, teacher added resources. So if you have a project around the chemistry of organic molecules that you've done for the last 5 years that you love, you can upload a Word doc, a PDF, a JPEG, a video, a web link, and it becomes a tile, and you can just assign it to the kids like normal. So really, really helpful pieces. Just so you see that all chapters look, feel, function, and operate the same, let's jump into a different chapter. Here's Chapter 7, Chapter Info, hide and close, student ebook and smartbook, hide and close, chapter assignments, those test banks, the PowerPoints, the animations, the videos, the Bio Now activities. It's all there. Right, labs, guided collaborative activities, teacher resource. This is Chapter 7, teacher manual by itself, project-based scenario. These are all answer keys for all the stuff that's up above. Really, really helpful. Any thoughts or questions?
Hello.
Hello.
We've got a question from Samir.
Yes.
What is the difference between SmartBook and ebook?
Oh yeah, that's a super common question, right? So you hit us just at the right time. I'm going to talk about SmartBook right now and maybe some of the ways to use it in your classroom. So why don't we wait till I'm about to talk about it? Is there another question, Sharish?
Yes. Are there any resources for below level students?
So you'll notice in the teacher resources, it's really about EL language strategies for beginning, intermediate, beyond level. So there's study strategies, EL language strategies. There's also differentiated instruction. So you'll notice if a kid isn't getting it this way, why don't we try to teach it this way? And then a lot of times we're really trying to have kids talk to each other in groups. And that's kind of a psychological way that if a kid is struggling, they can listen to another kid in the room that's super smart, right? And they're getting to listen to the academic vocabulary of their friends and their neighbors, and it all ships rise, right? That's the argument I would make, is if I'm struggling, but I get to hear a kid who just gets it and kind of get to latch on to their understanding. But that's a great question.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Okay, they just received one more. Why are there short answers questions aren't answers? Why are there short answer questions aren't answered? Only answers may vary for most of the questions, which isn't helpful for teachers newly teaching the course.
Yeah. It depends, right? So there might be like rubrics or grading support pieces. I know what you're talking about, the FRQs and stuff at the end. Let's see, EL, AP assessment. Are you an AP Bio or are you an AP Chem? Because right here, this is giving some suggestions, right? So in this Chem one, it gives, look at, these are involved, here's some whatever. So you must be in a different course, because this one, it's giving, this is a thought, this is a thought, this is a thought, right, to really help this teacher. So you perhaps in Chem, which I could look at, I hear that argument for sure. I do want to get into SmartBook, and then we have tests, and then someone asked about virtual labs. We've got 19 minutes together. So I'm going to be fast and furious. I will always remind you that under teacher digital support, this pink tile, because I don't know that we're going to get to creating tests today, is I would go over to this assessment piece, and there's 3 videos. There's how to create a test, how to print a test, and how to assign a test digitally, right? Because I think SmartBook is really important that I give it its full time, and then I do want to show you the virtual labs as well. So let us talk about SmartBook. So SmartBook is an assignable version of the ebook where you, the teacher, get to pick learning objectives that you want the kids to focus on. Okay, so I need you to hear that. You're going to assign reading from the book, and every 10 to 15 minutes, the book is going to ask the kids questions based on what their teacher had them focus on. Okay, it's just mind-blowing how that works. Then you're going to get a report back, who read, who didn't read, who started the reading, what they're getting, what they're not getting, from a class level down to a singular student level. Now, you ask what's the difference between ebook and SmartBook. An ebook is a version, an exact replica of the print book. It's available in every kid's account from day one, no matter what you do, right? If a kid has an account, they have the ebook, period. Now, the SmartBook has to be assigned. The kids will not see the SmartBook at all unless you, the teacher, make the decision to push it out to them. Okay, so I want to show the SmartBook from a student's perspective. I thought I had an assignment here, but I don't, so I'm gonna make one very quickly, because I want you to see what a SmartBook looks, feels, functions, acts, operates like, so that you get the idea. This is great. So I'm gonna do chapter 5 SmartBook, and then we're gonna go into it from a kid's account. Chapter 5 SmartBook. And it starts today, and it's due Sunday, and I'm going to click apply. It's worth 100 points because now you're going to get data back. You're going to know who's doing the reading and who's not. Okay, so now on my dashboard, you'll see there's that SmartBook assignment is right there. But let's go into a kid's account. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to emulate this student, And now we're going to go look at this smart book assignment from a kid's perspective, and then I'll show you how to assign it. So right here, I'm going in, I'm a kid, I'm in this kid's account, I'm going to click smart book. The first thing kids are shown is on this day, this assignment is due, right? It's going to take you about an hour, and you have 36 concepts that you need to master or cover by the due date. They could start with questions. So if they've been reading the ebook, right? This answers your question a little bit. If they've been reading the ebook, they don't have to start with reading. But we always recommend starting with reading, because look at this. Look at this. So this is smart book, but look at this yellow highlighting. The yellow highlighting is what you picked that you wanted them to focus on. So it is just a regular ebook, but there are things that my teacher has decided are vital for me to know to be successful in this class. Let's see, there's not a lot of highlighting on this page. Sometimes it takes it just a second to come through, but it is so powerful. And AP teachers love it because they assign so much reading and they have no idea if the kids are doing it or not. And this literally gives you a report, who's doing the reading, who's not doing the reading. Oh, and I love this. The books are quite dynamic, right? So they have the videos, they can answer end of chapter questions right in the book. Here's some of that yellow highlighting. So let's say I've been reading for 10 to 15 minutes, and then I'm going to go to questions. So I always read this to teachers. You make progress, students, based on the number of questions, based on completing the concepts. The number of questions you get will vary depending on your needs. So each kid is getting individualized questions in a different order, with different highlighting, it's really, really amazing. Next is, if you get questions wrong, it's okay, as long as you get them right by the due date. And finally, submit your answers by selecting your confidence level. This doesn't affect your grade. So let's go answer some questions. Which of the following is not an opioid receptor? I'm going to guess this. I'm very confident. Oh, I did not mean to get it right. Okay, it gave me a little bit of credit, but I'll talk about that in a second. So I'm going to answer this question. I'm very confident. Oh my gosh, I got that wrong. Can you believe it? Look what it does. It gives me the right answer right away, but then it allows me to go back in the book and read about it, and look at what it does. It highlights it in a different color to bring psychological awareness to me, the reader, the student, that I just missed that question. I'm going to go back to the questions. Next question, which molecule? I'm very confident. I got it wrong. I can't believe it. That was such a good answer. Look, it gives me the right answers right here. But this is what I really want to point out to you, teachers. Before moving on, you have to go read the book. The smart book knows this student is clicking and guessing and trying and click, forward, and it's not going to let them cheat that way. So I'll show you, the questions are grayed out. I can't answer questions. I have to go in the book. And what did we talk about? It's going to be a different color to bring psychological awareness to me that this is what I'm struggling with. Now, AP teachers, I'm very clear about the smart book. The smart book is not AP rigor. The smart book is basic relationships, basic definitions, Bloom's 1 and 2, depth of knowledge 1 and 2, and it is getting them to the point that they're ready to come into class with you, the AP Chem expert, and now you get to draw connections and make correlations and really take it to the next level in a sophisticated, critical thinking sort of way. So we often say in the US this is a flipped classroom model, that they had them do chapter 5 smart book reading at home. And then when they get to class, the reading is done. And now we get to have sophisticated, high level, college level, advanced thinking, critical thinking conversations, because the smart book did the basics. It's really, really powerful in that way. And my AP teachers tend to assign a chapter a week. Sorry, kids, chapter a week. And it's due every Sunday night or whatever. And now you're going to come in on Monday and we are going to talk about this topic. And you already know about it because the smart book taught it to you. Okay. So I want to show you real quick how easy it is to assign SmartBook. So SmartBook is an assignment. I'm going to exit the simulation mode. SmartBook is an assignment. You're going to click the word assignment. SmartBook is a new assignment. You're going to click the word new assignment right here. And look at all these different assignment types you can do. But today we're going to do SmartBook. Hey, do you see virtual labs here? Guess what? It works very similarly. So we're going to click SmartBook. We're going to click new assignment. We're going to click chapter. I'm just going to do chapter 1. I'm going to scroll here to continue. And now you get the ability to either remove whole sections, okay, or remove individual learning objectives. So if you remove an individual learning objective, you are literally removing highlighting from the book. Okay, that's what that is. I'm going to add these sections back in because y'all, this is not that bad. 26 to 40 minutes, that's nothing. Okay, I'm going to continue and I'm going to give it a name. So this is chapter 1 SmartBook reading, and it's starting today. It's due tomorrow. And I'm going to click apply. It's worth 100 points. You better take a reading grade because now you're going to get information back from the kids. You can assign it to one kid, some kids, all kids. You can change this to a reading grade. Let's see. Oh, I don't have reading grade on this one. And then assign. So I just assigned reading with highlighted learning objectives, with formative assessment questions that's going to give me data back. Who read, what they read, how long they read, what they're getting, what they're not getting as a class and as a singular student. I'm going to do it one more time. Assignment, new assignment, SmartBook. And I'm going fast on purpose because I want you to see how quick it can be. New assignment, chapter 6, continue, 30 to 45 minutes. That seems great. Continue, chapter 6 SmartBook. The wizard opens up. Chapter 6 SmartBook, chapter 6 SmartBook reading. Okay, and that's sometime in the future. So I'm going to pick down here, apply, and down here, it's due on the 7th, apply 100 points. You better take a reading grade because now you get information and we assign. And now that reading is on their calendar, it's on their dashboard, it's in their grade book, it's everywhere for them. And that is how easy it is to assign that SmartBook reading. Any questions, thoughts, positive affirmations?
Just a comment from Islam Hussein. He says more interactive, giving learners the opportunity to learn and assess by themselves.
Totally. It puts a lot on the kids' shoulders, but then they end up liking it. The feedback I get from teachers and kids is it becomes a little bit of a game. One thing I didn't show you is that the chiclets across the top, those little columns, we're trying to fill those out by the due date. And one thing I love is you saw that I got the first question right and it gave me a little bit of credit. Well, I didn't deserve that credit. Well, the SmartBook knows that I didn't deserve that credit. So in 2 or 3 question sets, it's going to come back and challenge me with that same learning objective again to see if I got lucky, to see if that was a lucky guess. And so there's a lot of power happening with that SmartBook. Really, really, really awesome. So next in our small time, I'm not going to go into tests. I'm going to leave that to you to go into that pink, tile, teacher digital support, pink tile, go over to assessments. And in about 14 minutes, you can do assessments on your own, create a test, print a test, assign a test, because I really do want to show you the virtual labs because I think they're really, really cool. So a virtual lab is an assignment. We're going to click assignment. We're going to click new assignment, and then we're going to click virtual labs. Instead of SmartBook, we're clicking virtual labs. So this loads all of our virtual labs. Now, this is what these are good for is if you don't have the supplies in the room, it's the end of the year and you don't have the money, like any of those sort of things. But the thing I'll say to you is there are hundreds, I think 350 labs here. It's really a lot of labs. So if you do not use the keyword search or the keyword filter search, you're going to be sad because your finger's going to fall off because your mouse scrolling. Okay. So the one I usually show is blood, for blood, because you'll see that if you type blood, it instantly shrinks 350 labs down to like these 11. Okay. So now If you just wanted to assign one of these, you click here, you click forward, you get an assignment wizard, you give it a date and a time, you're done. But most teachers want to look at what they're going to assign first. So if you click on this eyeball, do you see this eyeball on the right? We're going to click that, and it's going to walk you through the lab from a student's perspective. So this is the key concepts, this is the overview, and this is, hey kids, before you begin, you should kind of keep these things in mind. Next is, let's go to the lab simulation. So what's cool here is every fish, every pipette, every glucose water, it's all here. So we do Control-Alt-K, and now it's showing you all your supplies. Then you're going to use the net to transfer the fish into the pond. Then you're going to move some of the water, the 10% glucose solution, into the water. Then we're going to start taking notice. We're going to zoom in and look at the fish. We're going to take notes. We're going to record data. And then there's going to be a final deliverable to the teacher. Really, really fascinating and fun. The feedback I'm getting from teachers is my kids ask for more labs, which I think is like crazy, but that they enjoy them and they get that digital world. I didn't point it out to you, but if you noticed, one of the first labs is a tutorial. So I would assign that at the very beginning. It shows you how to grab everything, how to grab tweezers, how to grab a slide, how to put it under a microscope. So it walks kids through all the tools of the virtual lab component. So that's in bio, that's in chem, that's in anatomy and physiology. Has virtual labs as well. Environmental science has virtual labs. So really, really cool stuff. Any thoughts or questions?
Nothing that I see. If you do have question or any thoughts, please let us know in the chat box or the Q&A box.
Yeah, I just thought of this. So if you have trouble or don't know how, I can, let's see, make sure I'm chatting everyone, chat, host and panel. Oh, I can't, but maybe to you, I can. This is the how to create a test, print a test, assign a test. I don't think I have the ability to message everyone.
Oh, strange.
Yeah.
I'll drop that. There you go.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Because we're not covering tests right now, but I think you prefer to watch me do it here on the Padlet because I go slow, I go calm. I'm not trying to do it in 4 minutes. It's just as easy as doing a SmartBook assignment. I mean, it really, let me close this down. It really is. Instead of clicking assignment, you click assessment. Right? And you go through this tool, but you can create a paper pencil, digital. One thing that's really fun with both of these AP science courses is the interactive test bank. So there's drag and drop and label and engage and tactile kinesthetic. They auto grade, which is great for you, the teachers. And it's also just a more engaging experience on the screen instead of multiple choice and true, false, and all of that. Awesome. Thank you for your time today. I just love the engagement and the questions. I love the amount of people that are here from all over. I'm so proud of our AP products. I'll tell you, I've been here almost 8 years, and we do not have every AP course. We just don't. But if we have an AP course, my friends, it aligns to the AP framework and the AP curriculum 100%. We only choose to design and create books if they're going to work for kids and teachers 100%. There are publishers out there that grab a book if it has like 70% and they just like, oh yeah, this one will work. We don't do that game here. Unless our book aligns 100%, we will not sell it. And so I'm very proud of our AP Bio and our AP Chem. They're both 2023 copyrights. I can't remember bio. Bio's close. So they're just super current and super aligned and super up to date. And I think you'll notice that when you're digging into the resources. Any other thoughts, questions?
Thank you, Thomas. That was a great session. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you. Anytime. Let's do more. I want more teachers to be using our stuff. So yeah, please.
One question. Sorry, I joined a little late. Do you have AP Calculus?
We don't. I'll tell you, our calculus book is from 2012. It's a college book. It's not AP aligned. it's on like a difficult platform. And I've asked the higher ed people, are we going to create a new one? And they're like, no, people still like this one, so we kind of keep this one. And I'm like, I don't feel good in my heart selling you a book that's that old, because I don't know how long we'll support it. Now we do have test prep. Do you, Sharice, do you do the 5 steps to a 5 at all? Do you know
No,
those?
we don't use that as such.
No. Okay. Yeah. There's like a consumable test prep thing, you know, if you wanted to think about that. Awesome. Thank you guys. I'm so glad you're here.
Yes, thank you so much.
Oh, for our math teacher, we have a brand new on-level high school stats and a brand new on-level high school pre-calculus. Now, those are not AP. Those are truly high school level. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Bye, my friends.
Thank you. Bye, everyone. Have a great rest of your day, and we will send you
virtual
the
webinar. You're so nice. Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye. Take care. We'll send you the recording and the certificate following.
Thank
you. Bye.